In the middle of Bodmin Moor, metalwork artists, the Thrustles, have been busy creating the Heart of Kerdroya, a sculpture that will lie at the centre of the Cornish landscape labyrinth.
Being part of Kerdroya, it means a lot to us because it is our opportunity to not only leave something behind, but to contribute something to our local area in a really meaningful way. And all of the symbolism that goes into it just feels so right for us.
This morning I've been beating out the channels to a shallow depth all the way around the labyrinth. So now you can see the labyrinth taking shape. Copper is bolted all the way around the edge to the steel part of the labyrinth underneath. I previously heated this once to a temperature of about 400 degrees C to anneal the copper and then let it cool down. So once that's nice and soft, I'll start beating these channels out again and get them down a bit deeper. Difficult to say how deep I can get them before the copper hardens up again, but you can sort of feel it getting tougher as you're hammering it, so then you move on to another soft piece. Most people who work with copper make their own tools up as they go along, because obviously every job needs a different shaped tool. I'm using pieces of oak, which as you can see, they don't last long. This one's really bashed over. I thought, well, I need to strengthen it a little bit, so I made a metal cap to go on here. It's like everything else, you can't really read this stuff in a book. You have to sort of discover ways of doing it as you go along, really. We have to turn this over a number of times when we're working on the other side, obviously. So we've got the lifting beam, and this is half-ton block and tackle, this is just under half a ton. It enables us to lift it safely off the bench rather than try and lift it by hand, which would be really dangerous. So we had to make sure that when we actually sit this in the granite and these pins are located, the labyrinth lines up with the actual larger labyrinth. And each pin goes into a separate segment of granite. There's 12 of them, so not only does it hold this part down, it also locates all the granite stones to stop any movement in the stones. So these will be resin fixed into the granite and never come out again, hopefully. Finally, just make sure everything's okay on the other side before we get it galvanised. And then when it comes back from the galvanisers, we'll then be fitting the copper and finally assembling it.